Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me. Today, I'm pretty excited to bring you the latest release from Xtransbots. This is their Legend Scale Pocket Warriors Guardian Fuzz. This is their Legend Scale version of Streetwise. And I gotta say, meh. It comes in a box that is pretty interesting. It very small. Basically just the figure and a clamshell, and nothing elaborate about it. It's got some nice artwork, some blueprints, pictures of the vehicle, but very small. Surprising. It's interesting. I'll definitely give it that. Pocket Warriors does seem fitting for the box, I guess, but interesting change. But that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. What you see here is what comes in the box. You've got the box clamshell, you've got Streetwise, and his blaster, which does store there in alt mode, just pegs in. As far as the blaster, it's got some decent detail on it. It's hard to see because it's so small, but a little bit of detail. No waffling, but for such a small blaster, I guess that's to be expected, right? Otherwise, it's a pretty decent sculpt. We'll give it that. So let's take a look at the alt mode. Surprisingly nice paint apps. You've got silver on the rims all the way around. You've got the police sheriff's star. The windows are all painted in black. You've got black and red for the lights on the front. You've got nice metallic red and orange for the lights on the back, which it actually looks really, really nice. And then you've got the light bar on top. And there's the view from the bottom. If I had one critique, it has to do with the pinning of the wheels. This particular wheel doesn't seem to be on straight. Doesn't affect it though, because it does roll just fine. Just for comparison, here he is with New Age Jazz. I think it does scale a lot better with Magic Square than it does with New Age. New Age alt modes are always a little bit big, but Magic Square, I think he does just fine. So let's take a look at the transformation. It's actually quite simple. Not hard at all. Just be careful. There's a few places where you want to take a little bit of extra care. So start by separating the connection here and bring these tabs out. Just be careful as you work. And you go ahead and split the legs. I believe we can go ahead at this point. See, that's one connection that's an issue for me. Right here, this ball just doesn't have enough grab to stay in place. But it's not a huge issue. We can go ahead and transform the legs down, bring them down, and we'll go ahead and wedge this guy back up there for now. As far as the legs go, extend this section down, and this section will come down as well. And you want to twist it on this hinge in order to make this tab connect there. Like so. Then this will come down and kind of pop into place there. There is actually a hole for it to go. Rotate the foot and pivot this up to make the bottom of the foot. One thing that's important to note on mine, this was extremely floppy when I got it. And the Xtransbots screwdrivers that they send out with the Masterpiece versions is perfect to fit there, to be honest. Let's go do the other leg. Like before, pull this down, swing this section here around, and pivot, and connect. Then we can bring our foot around, twist it, and like so. There's the legs done. And there's the screw right there to tighten it up if you need to. Go ahead and remove the gun. Push the arms down. And shoulders and all, they will rotate. Out. Fold the front bumper in. Pivot. And make sure you have your shoulders all the way out. And pivot. Here we can unfold this section. A little tight. Like that. Pivot it around. Bring the head up. And don't forget to bring up this section here. See, that ball peg is a pain. Might have to put some Kiki or something on it, but that will come here and connect on the backpack. Fold up the skirts to make the side of the abdomen. Rotate the arms. Go ahead and extend them. Here's where you'll need a spudger again, because the hands are a little bit difficult to get out. And there we go. There we have Streetwise. You can bring in his weapon. And I'll clean him up and we'll take a look at him. And here we have Fuzz. Let's take a closer look. A decent head sculpt. He's got some blue in the eyes. Looks really nice. I do really like the metallic paint where it's used. Got some there on the side of the head as well. Solid across the shoulders. All of the tan color you see is just tan colored plastic, as well as the red on the thighs. But flipping up that tab right in there, that does help solidify and give it a solid look rather than having a gaping hole, which is nice. As far as arms, they can actually go up above 90 degrees. A little bit of a butterfly action due to the transformation joint. Not much, but you have rotation above the elbow. A double jointed elbow, which does give you more than 90. Yeah. That is a bit of a concern for me, because if they can do that on the flanks, why can't they give us a flap on the forearm? Just saying. Hands, they have no rotation at all, and they can pivot in and out. Waist, you do have waist rotation. No sort of ab crunch. Hip skirts, definitely a little open on the sides, making that red joint visible. But even with that joint, you can twist the leg and do a full 90. Just requires a little manipulation to get there. Again, you do have rotation at the thigh. You can kick up 90 degrees, knee bend, actually the full run, which is nice to see. is a little loose, and it can actually bend forward, which don't really like that, but it's all right. Looking at the feet, you do have a rocker all the way out. Toe tilt up and down, which is nice. But the rocker goes out only. You get a slight bend in for standing purposes, but it's just a bit concerning for me. So, I mean, overall, not a terrible figure. For comparison, here he is with New Age Wheeljack, and then Magic Sarah, Prowl, and Jazz. So he's actually taller than most of the Carbots by collection. As far as negatives, he definitely has a hollow feel to him. The paint that's there is nice, but there's not enough of it. Lots of just plain white plastic. And it's very, very broad as far as the coloring, for lack of a better term. There should have been something to mix it up a little bit. I realize the character is just a white car, but some kind of accents in order to just add some appeal to how it looks. The articulation is okay, except for the legs, of course. More than 90 degrees on the elbows, waist rotation, the knees, the head, I forgot to mention, but it does swivel, and it does give you some up and not much down, but a slight nod. So articulation's okay. The alt mode looks really good in my opinion. The paint that's there stands out a lot more in alt mode than it does in robot mode, which is somewhat of a bummer. I guess it's okay for combined mode, but not as a standalone robot. So as far as recommendations, if you really feel the need to have a Streetwise, then go for it. I have a feeling that Magic Square or New Age are going to be releasing something along those lines in a Defensor in the future, so I might recommend that you wait unless you really feel like you want them. Pick mine up from showzstore.com. Definitely check them out. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to get your bell on so you get notified of future content. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time.